Hi everybody. The caregiver question for the day is, why am I so impatient with my elderly mother or my elderly father? Honestly, there can be a lot of reasons. When I was a caregiver for my parents, even though I loved them dearly, they were very good parents. I was so blessed to have them. There were times when I became impatient with them, and maybe I snapped, and then of course I felt horrible later. So if this is your experience, stay with me, and I will share reasons why you might be impatient with an elderly mother or father, and a few steps that you can take to manage through these feelings. Noticing that you feel impatient or you're getting agitated with other people can actually be a really good thing if you catch it early. Stay with me as I share why recognizing impatience can be hugely beneficial to caregivers. If this is your first time on my channel, I'm Pamela D. Wilson. I'm a caregiving expert, advocate, and speaker. I help adults and their caregivers work through health, financial, and legal aspects of caregiving, including navigating family relationships. I also serve as an expert witness for law firms and their clients. You can learn more about my professional experience by visiting my website, PamelaDWilson.com, or you can go below this video. There's plenty of links there to my bio, services, one-on-one consultations. Please do like this video, follow my channel, press those buttons right now, share these and other videos that are here, and if you would, please say thank you for the video or comment. Your interaction, your comments below this video help other people find their way here. So let's start answering the question, why am I so impatient with my elderly mother or father? One answer to this is your patience, your level of emotional balance can be impacted by whatever else you have going on in your life that is competing with the time and the attention that you spend with an elderly parent. Here's a common example. You go to visit mom or dad and you're thinking, oh, this is just going to be an hour visit, but you get there. Mom or dad are so excited to see you. They have a list of 20 things they want you to do that day, but of course they only ask you to do one of them. So your first thought is, oh my gosh, my entire day is going to be messed up because mom or dad have this list of 20 things and I thought I was here to only do one. It's 9 o'clock. I have to be somewhere at 11. And you know what? I'm done. I am not canceling the plans I've made for myself. So, how do you finesse that situation instead of blowing up and getting upset and saying things that you're probably going to regret or feel bad about later? To do that, you have to start setting boundaries and managing expectations. So the conversation goes something like this. Wow, mom or dad, I am so happy to be here to help you. When you told me you needed X, I planned an hour for that. I thought that would have been plenty of time. I had no idea you had 19 other things that you wanted done today. I didn't plan for that. I have another project. I have a meeting that I'm committed to at 11 o'clock today. So I can get this one thing done. Let's work on this one thing. And then I'll take your list. I'll call you tomorrow. And we will figure out how to get all these 19 other things that you wanted done. And just know that we may need to bring in somebody else to help because I'm not sure that I can do all of this for you based on what I have coming up in my schedule for the next couple of weeks. So what you've kind of done is say, gosh, I love you. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to help on this one thing that we talked about. But I have other commitments today and I can't do the other 19 things you wanted because I didn't know you wanted 19 other things. And so that kind of lets your parents know, well, gosh, maybe we should be more proactive in asking. Maybe we should plan ahead. Now, maybe mom or dad are not at all happy with your response. Maybe they become impatient with you by start telling you, well, oh, you never have time for me. We'll find somebody else to do it. Well, let them. Don't feel guilty. Realize that the way that they react to you is more about them and their feelings and their insecurities and their worries and anxiety and really what they have going on in their life. So when we interact with people, person A has all these things going on and person B has all these things going on, and we try to stay very level and non-emotional when we're talking, but sometimes all those things that the other person doesn't know about are bombarding our brain, and they're coming in and they're making us be impatient or react, not in such a good manner. Now, if you're a caregiver who always comes to the rescue for your parents, maybe you have set yourself up as their solution to all of their problems. So in a sense, you've contributed to this level of expectation that, if I ask you to come over and do one thing and I have 19 others, you're going to stay and do them. You're going to give up all your time because you've always done that in the past. Why would it change now? Good question. Let's look at other situations that can cause a caregiver to ask, why am I so impatient with my elderly mother or father? Let's say that it's been a long day at work. A lot of crazy stuff going on. You are exhausted and you have to stop at mom or dad's to drop off a prescription or something. And you're tired. Well, when we are tired or hungry or stressed or we've had a long day, we can be less tolerant of these little things that just set us off. Maybe, like I said, you were going to drop off a prescription or pick up a grocery list or something. And you get there and mom has dinner prepared, food on the table. And she is expecting you to stay and eat with her. And you didn't plan for that. Mom is seeing your visit as a social occasion to have dinner with you. You are saying the visit is, I'm going to pop in, I'm going to do what I need to do, and I'm going to pop out, and I'm going to go home, and maybe I have to run an errand for myself before I go home. Again, not what mom planned, not what mom expected, and definitely not what you planned or expected. So, as you can see, the theme of this video, specific to losing patience with an elderly parent, is about setting expectations and managing time. Your elderly parents who are retired, they have all the time in the world. I heard an older person tell someone the other day, they were talking to a younger person, and the younger person's like, oh, I don't have time, I work and I do this and I'm trying to fit all this in. And the older person said to them, well, gosh, when you're older, you're going to have all this time. And you're going to have to figure out how to fill all this time because you don't have all the things that you used to do. So your elderly parents who are retired may be looking to fill their time by spending time with you or giving you projects or things like that. And as a caregiver and somebody who works and has a job and take care of yourself, have a wife and kids and whatever, you don't even have enough time to do what you need to do, right? You have more than enough things to do. In fact, you have too many things to fill your time. So in a sense, impatience can result from having a time conflict between you and your time and your parents and their time, which I hate to say is not going to get any better as your parents' health continues to get worse and as they need more time and more care. So if you look at this, actually becoming impatient with an elderly mom or dad can be a good thing if you use this as an opportunity to think about setting expectations and setting time boundaries and looking at maybe how you've been a little too helpful in the past. Your life, it's moving at fast forward on the remote, right? And your parents' life is moving in slow motion, right? So two opposites. So learning to manage emotions is part of growing patience with elderly parents and really anybody. If you can recognize why you feel impatient and relate this to factors in your life, time constraints, I have parents to deal with, I got my wife, I got my kids, and you're trading parts of your life off. So if you continue to spend more and more time caring for elderly parents, what are you going to miss out on? Job opportunities, time with your kids, baseball games, time with your husband or wife. Maybe you wanted to take a class and you can't do that. And so eventually you may become resentful. Now, there's no need to even go here at all if you recognize impatience very early and start to take action. Because honestly, caregivers wait too long. They let situations go on too long without really saying, you know, this is affecting my life and it's affecting my mood and my physical health and my outlook on life. And I'm starting to really not like my parents. So while you can deal with impatience by being empathetic to the issues of your elderly parents, you also have to recognize how this is affecting you and whose responsibility is to solve the situations in your parents' life. It's your parents' responsibility. It's not your responsibility. You're responsible for your life and what happens. So you want to think about possibilities, because really it's only impossible to do this if you think so. So to summarize, if you're feeling impatient with your elderly mother or father, look at this as a red bells, warning signs going off. I need to pay attention to this because it's important. Figure out why you're feeling impatient, resentful, angry, whatever. And if all this is resulting from time constraints and work stress and trade-offs and expectations that just don't match up, then it's time to start talking about practicalities and setting boundaries. If you think of this, your parents did this when you were younger, and you may not have liked it. Remember when they said, well, be home by 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. Or you could have this, but you can't have that because we don't have money to pay for it, or you really don't need it. Recognizing that after all this time, with you living independently and your parents living independently and caregiving bringing you back together, that you do have to start setting boundaries that your parents had with you when you were younger, and now boundaries that you are going to create with your parents because you are older. And think about those conversations. Start having those conversations. I thank you so much for being here. I'm Pamela D. Wilson, a caregiving expert, advocate, and speaker. Again, look below this video, plenty of links to my website. Please do comment, say thank you for the video. Your participation helps other people find their way here. You can also share your story. I do respond to every single comment. I will see you again soon in another video.